What if I told you an author just sold more books in a single day than most bestsellers sell in their entire lifetime, and there was no publisher in sight? I'm talking about a self-published author who turned his launch into a global event and walked away with over 100 million in sales in one day. Of course, you might know I'm talking about Alex Hormozi, but if you don't know about Alex and his $100 million series, those books right there, and the launch of $100 million models, it's okay. Basically, if you want to know how one self-published author made more than 100 million on his launch day, actually in a live event, 3 days before his official launch date, well, this video is for you. Hey there, I'm Julie the Book Broad, founder of Book Launchers, and your host here at booklaunchers.tv. Now, Alex Hormozi held a masterclass in marketing for business people and authors alike in August of 2025. It was an epic day where he even got a Guinness World Record. But before you think you're going to reverse engineer his success, you need to know this launch was years in the making. It started before 2020. That's right. An epic 2025 launch started well before 2020. He built up years of value to then trigger reciprocity in his audience. That cannot be overlooked. He also built up a giant army of affiliates who were promoting for him, and he spent millions on ads. But in case you don't know anything about him or this event, let's go through some history. In 2021, Alex Hormozi released the first book in his 3-book series, $100 Million Offers. He self-published, priced the Kindle at 99 cents, and poured all his energy into making the book so valuable, people couldn't help but recommend it. I didn't hear about the book launch, but just like he hoped, one of my friends in Entrepreneur Organization, EO, read the book and told our group about it. I bought a copy and read it, and I thought it was pretty darn good. And obviously other people did too. That basic strategy worked, and that book has since sold over 400,000 copies and built a bit of a cult following. The book also did a few smart things. It had calls to action at the end of every chapter, so you would join his mailing list. It also encourages you to get the audiobook to listen while you read for maximum retention. And I did do that. 2 years later came $100 million leads. This time he went big, a massive live stream event with over 500,000 signups. He shocked everyone by giving away a $2,000 course for free. In the first 90 minutes of that event, he sold $4.4 million worth of books. The launch was the talk of the internet marketing expert community, I know. Some felt he was going too far and poking fun at people who run webinars as he ran their playbook, built up the value, and proceeded to give it all away. But he had a game plan. Even at this launch, he held up his next book, the $100 Million Models. This was never about launching any of the books on their own. It was always about showcasing exactly what is in the books and building up so everyone knows about his company acquisition.com and his content, which he's trying to get in everybody's hands, because the more businesses that are out there that meet his criteria, the more businesses he might be able to acquire in his company. All right, so the Guinness World Record set by Alex Hormozi during the launch of $100 Million Models was set on August 16th, 2025. And it was set for the fastest selling nonfiction book with 2,970,443 copies sold in 24 hours. This surpassed the previous record held by Prince Harry's Spare, which sold only 1.43 million copies in 24 hours. Yeah. The record specifically recognizes the total number of physical books sold during the launch event, driven largely by Hormozi's bundle. We'll talk about that in a second. Okay, most authors plan a launch in 3 months. Hormozi planned one in 6 years. That's a big difference, and that's a big part of why this worked. Now, here's a big thing that made me pay attention to this model from 2021 and beyond. Hormozi self-publishes all his books, and that choice matters. Why? Control. Control over pricing, from 99-cent ebooks to $6,000 bundles. Control over distribution. He didn't just rely on Amazon, he sold directly through his website so he could collect buyer emails and control distribution. You can see plenty of YouTube videos where he's touring the warehouse and making sure they were ready to ship all the books out after they were purchased. He also has control over rights and offers. He can bundle hats, which he did in his previous launch, courses, or even an AI clone of himself. And this is big, he gets his buyer information: names, emails, phone numbers, and credit cards. And credit cards are really important in a funnel where having that on hand makes an upsell really easy. He actually talks about that in his book, $100 Million Models, where you have a model where it's just, should I charge that to the card on file? So much easier. A traditional publisher would never allow any of this. They'd set the price, they'd keep their cut, and you'd never get buying data from the stores. Self-publishing gives Hormozi the freedom to experiment and scale in ways that no publisher would ever do. And he used both direct selling, massive live streams, bundles, upsells, and reframes. I mean, has any author ever done a 200 book donation offer? That was a brilliant reframe. And he also sold his book normally through Amazon and, normal channels. It wasn't either or. Just because he sold millions direct also doesn't mean he's not also crushing it on Amazon. Check it out, all 3 of his books are probably still carrying bestseller flags when you watch this video. Of course, if your book is good, and his books are all good, and they're well designed, easy to read, and even easier to apply to your business or your life, so you get more than the value of the book back, you'll tell other people, you'll positively review it. But that's all fine, I know. And you're just thinking, well, that's great, but what can I, the average author, learn and apply from this? Well, I'm so glad you asked. Here's 5 marketing strategies authors can adopt from Alex Hormozi's launch. Number 1, over-deliver on value in everything you do. Don't hold back. Well, I know a lot of people don't like his style. You can't argue with the fact that he does give massive value. His books are good. His webinar teaches a lot of great content. His YouTube channel has great content. He gave away a $2,000 course in his second launch, and I think the other one in this latest launch was $6,000. He adds massive value to the lives of his audience. And he did that and has done that for years and years. It takes a patient person to build and build and build for 6 years. It also takes someone with an uber clear goal and calm confidence that when they execute, they get their desired result. For you, make your book so good, someone can't wait to recommend it to others after they read it. This is so important and why I'm constantly saying you have to edit and spend time editing a book so it's great. His sales got that book going, but word of mouth carried it afterwards. Number 2, turn your launch into an event. I mean, he spent millions and millions on advertising to get 1 million people registered for his launch. And to be fair, he also showed how he actually made money off that advertising. I think he said he spent $4 million and made $6 million from it, so he wasn't out of pocket. But many people will say there's nobody as good at ads as him. So it's definitely a case of results not normal. Regardless, you can go bigger than you think you can or should for your launch, and you can make it an event. We're making the relaunch of Self-Publish and Succeed an event. We're going to create a 3-day summit backed by popular demand after our last 3-day summit. So mark your calendars. It's going to be on November 13th, 14th, and 15th. Of course, subscribe to the channel or get our newsletter at booklaunchers.com/newsletter so that you know when it's happening. Now, whatever you do, make it feel special. Laura Arbador from our Author Business Accelerator is launching her book really soon, and she rented out an art gallery for her book launch. She is having it catered and is inviting everyone she can think of to the event. She is making it as big as a wedding. It's a celebration of her work, her art, and of course, her book. Her book is beautiful too. Check it out on Amazon. Regardless, making your launch an event can attract media, social media, energy, and of course, attention. And it just gets people talking. So you don't need to hide at home. Go big with your launch and have fun with it. Number 3, bundle smartly. Offer something extra for multiple purchases, like bonus resources, a private Q&A, signed copies. Make your bundle irresistible. One thing he did was stack his offer so much that people were salivating at the value, ready to buy, and then he says, boom, for you guys, it's free. And then he stacked even more on it and said, boom, for you guys, it's a 200 book donation. And he encouraged sharing because he wanted to get the book out in the hands of all of the entrepreneurs out there. That's also the reason he broke Guinness World Record. He had an 800 and 200 book bundle. If you didn't see it, he said he would donate the books that you couldn't give away. For each bundle, he built up the value and made it absolutely irresistible. And by the way, it was very smart because by having the 200 and 800 book bundles, he also was able to isolate his exact target audience for acquisition.com. Because let's be real, 95% of the people watching this webinar are not in the ballpark of business owners that he wants. So it was genius on many levels. We have had authors using the bundle approach for years. You can bundle 3 books or more. The key is to sell the value of what the bundle gets you. And he did that beautifully, setting the stage for all the value and benefits you get from these things. And then he was like, you get that for the cost of 1 book, or you get that for only 200 books. Many people shy away from selling, but the way he did it wasn't as much selling the books as it was getting people so excited and hungry for the outcomes his content would give someone who consumed it, so they couldn't help but take action on it. Number 4, use scarcity and urgency. If you've ever read Cialdini's book or anything on influence and persuasion, he did this beautifully with deadlines and bonuses that were limited. People act when they feel like they're going to miss out. It's something that kind of drives me crazy, but if a human thinks they can't get something tomorrow, then they will act today. But if they think they can get it tomorrow, well, they'll wait and tomorrow never comes. So create an environment where someone has to act or they lose out. For whatever reason, that's what humans respond to. Whether it's a prize, a bonus, a discount, a special something has to go away if they don't act or don't expect them to act. Number 5, own the customer relationship. This was beautiful. When possible, drive buyers through your site so you capture their email, can build a connection, and you can grow a community around what you're doing. That's how you build long-term value beyond this launch. These 5 strategies are realistic. You don't need millions of followers to implement them, and you don't need millions of dollars either. Speaking of communities, we have a cool one at booklaunchers.com/school, SKOOL. Will I see you there? Go ahead and join now. You know, those are 5 things any author can do, but there are things Hormozi did that the average author won't do and maybe shouldn't, which is, first of all, investing millions up front. He paid to print a ton of books. He paid to warehouse them. And of course, there's the high-end studio here in Las Vegas where he ran his massive live stream event. Those are big, expensive things to do. And he spent millions on his ads. Although again, he made his money back, but he tested 500 versions of his ad. The average author doesn't have the experience, expertise, or the time or money to invest in something like that. But he can do it because he has built this up over 6 years. So his results were somewhat predictable for him. He was taking a risk, but it was a very calculated risk. He knew what he did on launch 1 and 2, and he also knew how much larger his audience was for this one. The second thing is he gave away high-ticket value for free. I mean, imagine handing out a $2,000 course with your book. Most authors need to charge for that to make money for their business. His business isn't books. He buys and invests in businesses to make money off those. The more people who build successful businesses he can buy into, the more money he makes in the long run. So even if only 10 people who got his free course build a business and he buys one of those in the next 5 years, it's probably paid off for him. So he doesn't really need to sell the course to make money. But that is an unusual situation. 3, he dedicated years to a single launch and of course had the financial situation that allowed him to afford to do that. That's not the case for the vast majority of authors. Even ones that aren't expecting to make a ton of money from their books probably don't want to invest 6 years and millions of dollars into building up to an epic launch. This is the kind of long game thinking that looks incredible, but is not for everyone. Most authors want and sometimes even need results much, much faster. Hormozi engineered this patiently for half a decade. That kind of long game commitment is rare. Now, I do think more authors should be a bit more patient and strategic. Too many authors finish writing their book and want it out next month, skipping so many steps that would set them up for a more successful launch and a lot better results. But 6+ years, it's a lot to ask of anyone. All right, these 3 moves are what separated his launch from almost anything we'll see again soon, and that's what makes it special. But we don't need to replicate Hormozi. The point is not to be him. I don't want to be him. You probably don't want to be him either. But the point is to take the principles he demonstrated and apply them at your own scale. Be patient. Play the long game. Keep control when you can. It has so much value to you now and in the long run. Over-deliver value so people talk about your book and what you're doing for years to come. And turn your launch into an event, not an afterthought. Have fun with it. You've earned it. And you can absolutely launch a book that changes your business and builds a brand that lasts. Hormozi has paved the path. Now it's your turn to walk on it in your own way. Now I want to hear from you. What's one Hormozi-inspired strategy you'd try for your own book launch? Let's drop it in the comments. And if you want more proven strategies to launch and market your nonfiction book, be sure to subscribe and check out the other videos we have here at booklaunchers.tv. See you on the next video.